Hey guys, it's Brian, and it's Thursday, so I'm a bit late with my new comics haul, so whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna start off with DC this week, and I got Harley Quinn #4. It's a good read, just typical Harley Quinn silly nonsense. So she's working as a doctor again, and she here's from this old lady, she's like in an old folks home, and this old woman comes in and she's giving her sob story about how her family never comes to visit her and this and that and the other, right? So Harley takes it upon herself to go round the family up and teach them a lesson. Well, it turns out that the family visits the old lady all the damn time. She's just has Alzheimer's. So, anyways, that's kind of a funny way for that story to go. And I'm sorry if I just ruined it for you, but yeah, it's Harley Quinn. You can't really take any of it too serious, and there's no real plot in the book, in my opinion. These next three books are DC books, but they're not from this week. They're from last week, maybe even a week before that. And I only got this one because of Supergirl getting the Red Lantern ring, I guess. I'm really not sure. I don't read DC books. I don't read a lot of DC books, so but I've seen this on other people's videos, so it sounded interesting to me, so I thought I'd pick it up. I haven't read this yet. I need to get to it though, but I figure the book has been mentioned quite a few times in other people's videos, so there's really no need for me to try to tell you guys what it's about. Most of you probably already know. And I've been picking this up since about 2 weeks ago. Superman and Wonder Woman. I've heard a lot of good things on from other people on YouTube, so I went and I got the first 4 or 5 issues, and then I didn't even notice because I'm not used to looking for DC books when I'm in a store. I didn't even look for this last week, and I didn't, and I only knew it was out because folks on here mentioned it, so I picked this one up yesterday. I haven't read it yet because I've still got to catch up on the other ones. And then I only bought this book, Forever Evil 6, for my son because he's a Nightwing fan, and I guess from what I understand, Nightwing's ending, and so this is a tie-in to that somehow. So I picked this up for him. It's a cool cover. All right, we get Coffin Hill where's the number? Number 6. See, they always throw me off on Coffin Hill because and you'd think I'd remember this, but I'm so used to other books having the numbers near the price tag. I mean, that's an Image book, this is an Oni book. The numbers are usually near the price tag, or they're really big. But Coffin Hill's numbers are always up here, and they're always small, so I always miss them. But anyways, this is Coffin Hill number 6, and it's a good read. The artwork still is pretty good. I really like it. You get to see a little bit into the history, a little more history of what's going on with Eve Hill, and I really like this book. I recommend, if you're not reading it, it's not too far into it. It's only 6 issues in. If you don't read it, but if you like, it's almost it's like science. It's like horror and mystery cop detective book in one. Except for she's not a cop right now. Anyways, I like this book. I would recommend picking it up. So that's it for DC. We're going to get into Image, and the first Image book is Undertow number 2. I really wanted to like this book, this title, but it's not doing it for me. And if I were you, I would take $2.99 and I would add tax to that depending on where you live, and I'd put it in that envelope, and I would save it for, I don't know if you like Chew number 1. It's an expensive book. I'd put this $3 toward that, or any other Image book that you like, or hell, whatever else you want. But anyways, I would take the $2.99, put it away, and save it for something better. The next Image book is one that I would recommend reading. I'm enjoying it since I picked it up. I missed the first 4 issues of this. but I picked them up on eBay, and I've been enjoying Lazarus ever since. This is issue 7. Um, yeah, the artwork in it, the artwork in it is really nice. I really like this book, and I can't really recommend. It's like a future world, or maybe it's just not even a future world. It's just a different version of our timeline, where it looks like control of at least America is split up by families, and they control who is a. Okay, so it's more like because they use the term serf. I guess it's more like medieval, the way things were set up with kingdoms and such. So you have the families who control, which are, I guess they would be like the royals, and then you have serfs and subjects, and and the thing is, like, I guess serfs are like would be like citizens. And then they've got people below the serfs who are like waste. They don't have any value as far as humanity goes, as far as the family's concerned. It's not to say that they don't have any value as people. They just get treated like shit. They're lower than slaves even. Um, so this is a family that's trying to make their way from where their home was flooded out, and they're trying to find a better place to live. I really like this book. I know some people have panned it, so that it's not that great, but I like it. I would. I mean, I did spend the $2.99, and I'll spend $2.99 next month. All right, we have A Voice in the Dark, number 5. This is kind of a takeoff on Dexter, as far as the girl's a serial killer. She hasn't killed that many people yet, but she's only killing people that deserve it, as far as she's concerned. Um, and she's just started college, and she's only been there for 3 weeks, and this is things that have happened to her so far. If you like serial killers and you like the Dexter kind of thing, and people and rich snobby bitches getting what they deserve, it's worth reading. I really like the artwork in it, and the covers are always really nice. This next book is number 4 of Rocket Girl. I can't say enough about this book. If the first issue I was a little iffy on, the second one kind of grew on me, and the third one was a little better. And this one is definitely got me hooked. I'm definitely gonna keep coming back to Rocket Girl every month. So basically, this girl is from the future. She's part of the New York City Teen Police Department, which is a little bit weird. But anyways, she comes back in time to uncreate her existence, not just hers, but the whole thing, because the corporation that built the corporation, there's a corporation, I don't remember the name of it, but anyways, they take over the future, and the corporation runs everything, and it's not a great deal for everybody else. So anyways, she goes back in time to try to fix that. And these guys on the jet bikes chasing her through the subways in New York City are from that corporation's security force, and they're trying to stop her. And all in all, it's a pretty exciting, fun read this month. Now this next book is, I showed you just a minute ago. It's by Oni Press, and it's Letter 44. I like this book. I like science fiction, and so yeah, I haven't really read a lot of science fiction comic books because I was always into the superheroes, and honestly, when I was a kid, there weren't I mean, comic books were pretty much superheroes through the 80s and early 90s. The horror books and everything else, the Western books, the horror books, the science fiction books, they had all kind of gone away because of the comic code. But, now we don't have the comic code everywhere. They're back as far as science fiction and horror. And anyways, I really like the science fiction books, and this is a pretty good one. So the guys on the Clark, they finally met up with whatever it is out there that they were sent out there in the first place for, and they're investigating it. And one of the scientists is nearly killed, and 2 of the army guys that are out there rescue him, and then we get to this. This actually goes on throughout. Damn it. Sorry. This actually goes on throughout the issue, but at the end, it reveals who they're there to take into custody. The FBI guys. And you'll see that. All right, now this next book is pretty good. We're getting into the Valiants for the week, and it's XO Man of War 23. Okay, so after all the shit that goes down with XO coming back to Earth and all the shit he fucked up out in space, the Chinese are out there going through, sifting through all the alien stuff and looking for things, and the U.S. government's pretty much got Eric by the balls now. In order to control him, they've given his people a spot of, a place in Nebraska to call their own. In order to keep that, he's got to do missions for the U.S. government. So they send them out to investigate something coming, to keep an eye on the Chinese, let them know we're out there still. And an alien spaceship shows up with a guy that is he's a giant human-looking guy, but like half of his body is covered in what appears to be Shannara armor, and he's out in space surviving with just half the armor. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know where he came from, but he obviously wants the armor from Eric, and I'm sure the next issue is going to be a lot of whoop ass going on. And then I've got the variant of this month. This is like a cover swipe of a Superman. I've seen it as a poster, and it may have been a Superman comic book. I'm not that big up on the Superman history and whatnot, so I only remember seeing this back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. A poster of Superman with an American shield and an eagle. So, anyways, I like this cover. I think it's pretty cool. And this is one of those cases where I think the variant cover is definitely worth purchasing. Although I do get all the variants for the Valiant books every month, so you take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess. So this is a new book by by Valiant. I'm not sure if it's going to be an ongoing book or if it's just so that you can see where the Bleeding Monk came from. And it's issue 0. And this was really, really interesting. The Bleeding Monk has been around for a long, 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 long time. He was back around in the days of Alexander the Great. So, and this basically tells you his history from when he was with Alexander the Great and up until the time when Harada and him meet up. So, if you're a Valiant fan at all, and if you like the Harbinger books and Harada and all of that, the Bleeding Monk is a big part of that. So, if you like those, and I'm wasting my breath telling you, but anyways, if you don't like those, and you might think you think you might like them, this is a good book to read. And it's a read. It's not just a comic. It's text heavy, and it's worth reading. And here's the variant cover of that book. Next up is Shadow Man 16. I haven't read this one yet because I think I'm about 2 months behind on my Shadow Man books. I need to get back to them because I do like the book. I like the title. I just, for some reason, have not been reading it every month. And here's a variant of it, and this is another one where I think the variant cover is way better than the original cover, or the regular cover. It's pretty cool. I like the rock and roll chick. Alright, now we're going to move into the bulk of my books, and they're Marvel, because, I just like Marvel quite a bit. So All New Invaders number 3. This is a pretty good book. It shows you Namor got captured, and then Captain America and the original Human Torch Jim are coming up with a plan to rescue Namor, and then they figure out that Thor lets him know that the God Whisperer device that the the Kree, I think. Anyways, that the aliens have to control the gods. Thor lets him know it doesn't work on us anymore. So, Cap, the Torch, and the Winter Soldier, and there's one other guy that I've never seen before, and apparently he's been in somewhere in the last 6 or 7 years in comics while I wasn't reading. But anyways, he he transports them all to the Kree homeworld, and they're met by the pursuer chick, and there's a new twist on the story, which is why you think that they have no control over them. So, anyways, I really like this new book. The all new Invaders. I like it. Superior Foes of Spider-Man, number 10. This is a pretty cool little book. It's basically let's see who all was sitting around doing the talking. The Beatles, Speed Demon, and Overdrive. They're basically sitting around in a bar, BSing with each other and telling each other, supervillain stories, and they're all full of crap about them, of course, until somebody shows up at the end to give them a thumping. And I really like this book. I think it's pretty funny. It's comical to me. It cracks me up. And you get to see something from the bad guy's point of view and how they're really not such bad guys. Okay, and then I have Superior Spider-Man Annual number 2. And yeah, I like this book. This goes into pretty much Ben Urich, and he's trying to help out his nephew, who is one of the hobgoblins. I don't know how many hobgoblins there are now, but he's trying to help out his nephew, and it's worth reading. The art's pretty good. All right, I got X-Men 12, and I'm not really too sure why there are Sentinels on the cover, because they didn't fight any Sentinels except for Jubilee, and there's a little story in the back, or Jubilee and some of the kids at Jean Grey School take down a couple of Sentinels, and yeah, so I'm not sure why they're on the cover. I love Sentinels, and I love Sentinels on the cover, so it's a win for me. But the one thing I don't really like about this book, and actually any of these X books with whoever it is that's drawing them, is that he draws their faces funny. Maybe it's just me, but he always draws their faces kind of funny. But anyway, that's just my opinion. The artist who did the backup story with Jubilee and the X Babies, really good. I hold on. Let me open it up and see, because I really do think that this guy's pretty good, or girl. I don't really know. Okay, so here I'll show you some. Look at Rachel's face. She just looks, I don't know, they just look funny. They just look silly to me. They just don't look, and they all kind of look the same. They all look like they could be sisters, actual sisters. And so it'd be nice if they, Storm's facial features aren't the same as, Psylocke's. I mean, they're two different. Storm's African, and Psylocke is inhabiting an Asian body, but I mean, you almost couldn't tell the difference by looking at their facial features, that they're actually different people. Now, compare that with this guy's work. I think they should turn the book over to whoever it is that's doing this work, because this is good stuff. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference in people's faces, that they're different characters and they're not all siblings. I don't know where. Where are the credits for this backup story? I thought I saw credits in here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So it's the guy doing the backup is Clay Mann, and Chris Anka does the main story. So yeah, this dude Clay Mann, I don't know who he is. This guy, I may have seen his work before, but it's gotten to the point with me where there are artists whose work I recognize immediately, and then new people that come along. But for the most part, I've gotten back to where I usually just read the book and make up my mind whether or not I like it. And unless something stands out to me like this, where I really do think the backup artist is better than the main artist, I don't really look too much at who does what. But I'll tell you what, if I ever see Art Adams, I'm picking it up. I don't really care. The next book is from last week. It's Captain Marvel #1. I honestly, I don't understand why. Okay, I do understand this one. I understand why they're relaunching this one with a #1. This #1 doesn't mean a damn thing. It's just that crappy, let's put a giant fucking #1 on everything and call it a new issue. But this is #1 down here, so it is technically a new issue, a new volume. And so Tony Stark decides that the Avengers need a liaison in outer space, and so this is basically Carol is deciding to go to outer space. So I can see where they would relaunch the book, but I really don't think it needed to be relaunched. I think it really could have just been a new story arc and go from there. But again, Marvel likes to put fucking #1s on everything now. Maybe it's not just Marvel. Maybe it's because they're owned by the Mouse, and so the Mouse is even more driven by profits than Marvel was. But the #1s really are fucking stupid. Let's see here. Avengers World, #4. I gotta say, I don't get this book at all. Like, individual, I don't get it. The story, there's no real story arc to follow because they're trying to tell it from a single Avengers point of view every time, and it's just they're losing it. The artwork is awesome. I like the artwork inside, but honestly, I'm just at a loss as to how this book is supposed to be going because I guess there's a story there, a story arc there, but they're telling it like it's a single issue every time, and I don't know what the bigger freaking picture is for that book. I just don't. So anyways, I would almost say save yourself the $3.99, put it in your envelope, and get yourself a nice book. Okay, then I've got Winter Soldier #2. This reads like a James Bond spy novel, or like a James Bond spy novel. Cold War kind of spy stuff going on. So he's this dude, and it's called Winter Soldier, but he's really not the hero of the book. He's more like the villain of the book, or at least that's the way it appears so far. We might get to something in the near future where he's really the hero after all. But this book is kind of iffy for me. I'm probably going to keep with it until this story arc at least is concluded. I do like the artwork on the cover, and I think it's the same guy on the inside. I do like the artwork. The story's okay. It's just I don't know that much about Bucky after he got blown up, so there's not a whole lot of draw for me there in the backstory. But I would read it again, and I will next month. Now this has turned out to be one of I've been reading this from the start. And there's been times where I was really iffy because they had a period of about 5 or 6 issues with a really, really weak artist, but the story was kind of cool. It almost got dropped because I really wasn't that into this dude's artwork. But this one is really good. So Ghost Rider's joined the Thunderbolts, and so Flash decides that. And I'm sure this has nothing to do with Ghost Rider coming on board, but so this whole issue is it's Deadpool's turn to pick, but Flash is like, this again. I got one question. Can this be my turn because I'm leaving the team? I don't want anything more to do with you people. And so Deadpool's like, everybody's like, oh no, you can't do it. Deadpool's like, fuck yeah, go ahead, let's let him have this one, and he lets him. Flash like, I want you to take. He's like, I can't really be around you guys because the symbiote is, it wants to kill, and I'm trying to control it. But being around you guys, I'm always in positions where I got to kill. So it's getting harder to hang on to the symbiote and control it. So he's like, I'm gonna give the symbiote full control, and I want you guys to take it down. And as soon as Deadpool hears that, he's like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that." So that's the issue, and it's pretty fun. Then we have Uncanny X-Men number 19. Again, Marvel, knock it off. I'm not the only one. I see other people saying the same thing about giant number one everywhere. It's it's fucking stupid. You people are just, it's not working. People who read comic books aren't buying that crap. We're buying the comics, but we're not happy about this. And it's not just me, like I said. I see a lot of other people's videos who complain about the same thing. You know what? You douchebags at Marvel should be watching these videos so you would actually know what some people who read your books think about what you're doing. Enough of that rant. Yeah, that's enough of that rant. Anyways, Uncanny X-Men, they encounter Shield or Sentinel. And now with this book, okay, so they encounter Sentinels again, and they don't put any Sentinels on the cover. They just put a bunch of Shield agents on the cover, and they don't encounter Shield agents. They don't fight with any Shield agents. They're just fighting with Sentinels at the end, and they're like, "Oh, who's sending these? If it's Shield sending us, they've got a war. And if it's somebody controlling Shield, and Shield doesn't know about it, then they've got a war anyways." So either way, Scott's going after Shield. It was an alright read. It's not great, not horrible. Number 15 for Nova. This book is kind of like mid-road comic for me. It's not great, it's not bad. It's like in the middle. It's a good fun read. It's quick. And it always cracks me up a little bit. So I liked it. I would recommend buying it. And I would really like to see, like somebody else suggested, that they get a Nova Corps thing going. It'd be nice to see Sam with some friends. And I don't count the New Warriors because they're not Novas. And this last book, I bought it for one and only reason, and that's because it's a Scotty Young variant. And this is one of the this is one of the better Scotty Young variants. I think Daredevil's pretty funny, like up there on that wire. So that cracks me up. So for my favorite cover of the week, let me look through them again real quick because I didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. But 1 second. Hold on, bear with me. I'm gonna give it to this Exo Man of War variant because it's it's kind of a classic all-American kind of cover, with a Superman swipe. So yeah, I'll give it to this book. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. I know my opinions don't count, but they're my opinions. I'm entitled to them just like you guys are entitled to yours. But if you are taking my advice and saving money for comics, let me know what your big pickup's going to be when you get enough, when you save enough from not buying crappy books that I buy. Take it easy.